Quentin Tarantino, the maestro of cinematic mayhem whose dialogue-driven epics have redefined cool for generations, has never shied away from dissecting his peers' work with the precision of a film reel editor. In a recent episode of the Bret Easton Ellis podcast, the 62-year-old director peeled back the layers on Christopher Nolan's 2017 war thriller Dunkirk, admitting with his signature candor that it wasn't love at first sight. "Another film that I didn't initially like," Tarantino confessed, his words hanging like smoke from a just-fired revolver. But as with many great art pieces, repeated viewings transformed skepticism into reverence, revealing a real mastery that now ranks it among his favorites. This evolution of opinion, intertwined with his ongoing roast of Paul Dano in There Will Be Blood, paints a portrait of Tarantino as both critic and convert, a man whose tastes sharpen with time, much like a well-aged whiskey. Dunkirk, Nolan's taut, 106-minute immersion into the harrowing evacuation of Allied soldiers from Nazi-occupied France in 1940, arrived amid high expectations. With its nonlinear structure spanning land, sea, and air over a week, a day, and an hour respectively, the film eschewed traditional war movie bombast for visceral immediacy. Hans Zimmer's ticking clock score amplified the tension, while practical effects, real planes, ships, and a beach teeming with 6,000 extras, grounded the spectacle. Starring relative unknowns like Finn Whitehead and Harry Styles alongside veterans like Mark Rylance and Kenneth Branagh, it grossed over $526 million worldwide and snagged 3 Oscars, including Best Editing and Best Sound Editing. Yet, Tarantino's initial disconnect speaks to the film's audacious risks. Its minimal dialogue, absence of historical exposition, and focus on survival's raw terror could overwhelm on first pass. "I didn't really know what I saw, it was almost too much," Tarantino elaborated. The gobsmacking intensity left him reeling, the sensory overload of IMAX footage and relentless cross-cutting demanding mental recalibration. On rewatch, though, clarity emerged. "The second time I saw it, my brain was able to take it in a little bit more, and then the third time and the fourth time, it was just like, wow, it just blew me away." This progression mirrors how many viewers and critics came to embrace Dunkirk. Roger Ebert's site called it a symphony of tension, praising Nolan's ability to humanize history without jingoism. Tarantino, ever the pulp aficionado, appreciates the mastery in its restraint. No grand speeches, just the grind of fear and fortitude. It's a far cry from his own loquacious style, yet he recognizes the power in Nolan's pure cinema approach, where images and sound do the heavy lifting. Tarantino's pivot on Dunkirk also dovetails with his effusive praise for There Will Be Blood, which he hails for its old-style craftsmanship and narrative purity. Daniel Day-Lewis. "The old Hollywood craftsmanship without trying to be like that," he raved, noting the film's lack of traditional set pieces, the oil derrick fire being the closest, yet its unflinching focus on story. Paul Thomas Anderson's opus, he argues, stands a good chance at being number 1 or number 2 on his all-time list, marred only by what he sees as Dano's underwhelming Eli Sunday. "The flaw is Paul Dano," Tarantino doubled down. "He's just such a weak, uninteresting guy. The weakest f***ing actor in SAG." This isn't idle shade, it's Tarantino dissecting why the film's intended duality falters, with Day-Lewis's monomaniacal plain view overshadowing the preacher's supposed menace. He envisions a beefier presence, Austin Butler, perhaps, restoring equilibrium. But Tarantino's candor extends beyond critique to celebration. Dunkirk's evolution in his estimation underscores a key Tarantino tenet: films reward persistence. Like his own Kill Bill saga, which unfolds across volumes of vengeance, Nolan's work demands active engagement. The Air Strand, with Tom Hardy's hooded Spitfire pilots in dogfights that feel like balletic duels, exemplifies this. Underwater sequences, shot with innovative underwater cameras, capture the suffocating dread of submerged soldiers. Tarantino, a self-proclaimed history nerd who once scripted a World War II fantasy in Inglourious Bastard, likely geeks out over the accuracy. The real-life miracle of Dunkirk saved 338,000 troops, a pivot that bolstered Allied resolve. Nolan consulted historians meticulously, even screening footage for Dunkirk veterans, ensuring emotional authenticity. For younger fans, say an 18-year-old diving into Nolan's oeuvre post-Oppenheimer, Tarantino's take demystifies the hype. Dunkirk isn't just war porn, it's a lesson in empathy through abstraction. Characters lack backstories, forcing viewers to project their own fears onto the khaki-clad everymen scrambling for ships. Cillian Murphy's shell-shocked officer, wordlessly conveying trauma, lingers as potently as any monologue. Tarantino's repeated viewings echo this. Each pass unveils new layers, from the symbolic Spitfire fuel gauge ticking toward doom to the civilian armada of pleasure boats ferrying hope across the channel.